Welcome to my very first Substack Live for Read Write. I'm here with Jennifer from my dear friend and co-creator of the Birth Your Truest Story online writers community. And we are doing a little test here of how Substack Live works. And we thought to have some fodder for our chat, we would talk about a couple books that we've read recently that we both really enjoyed. So Jennifer, you said you just finished one last night that you liked. So tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so this is in my secret pleasures category of book reading, otherwise known as bedtime reading. Um, so I discovered Catherine Arden over the COVID period. Actually, her Winter Night trilogy is a series that I really loved. It's a feminist retelling of the Vasilisa folk tale from Russia. And she started it as a college student. It was her BA thesis, and she did a semester abroad in Russia. She studied Russian and Russian folklore at Middlebury, and then she went on to write this whole trilogy of fantasy novels about Vasilisa. Vasilisa is the main character, and it's just wonderfully inventive and a lot of fun and a page turner, that trilogy. So last night I finished her latest book, which is it's called The Unicorn Hunters, and the word unicorn attracted me right away because I'm into unicorns. And it's it's a historical novel based on what we know about Anne of Brittany, who was a real historical figure in the Middle Ages and was perhaps the 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 queen for whom at least some of the unicorn tapestries, the famous unicorn
Oh,
tapestries,
wow.
were woven. She was apparently interested in unicorns. Um, so Catherine Arden imagines her story and completely reinvents her as a feminist princess. She isn't a queen yet in this story, and she's in the position of having to be betrothed to a king, and I think this is part of actual history, but in very inventive and magical ways, she gets out of that and emerges as a very powerful queen in her own right. And it's
Ah,
just a really fun story, and I couldn't put it down. It kept me up late into the night finishing it last night. So
wow.
that's
Well, I love that you shared your guilty pleasures. I sort of thought because you're sort of the memoir reader writer in our little duo here, and I'm more on the fiction side. But um, I do read memoir sometimes, and I guess you guiltily, pleasurably read
oh
fiction.
yeah, I read fiction.
Yeah. That's great. Well, okay. Now, this is the problem with this. If we continue these, if I continue these here, the problem is always that I'm going to just my ever growing list of things to read is going to grow ever more. But oh well. But I just finished a book a couple days ago that I had heard about, and I was very surprised. I do a lot of audiobooks these days because it's hard for me to find the time to sit down and read. And if I read before bed, I fall asleep. But,
Mhm.
I was able to get the audiobook. This just came out, I think, a few months ago, so usually you can't get them that fast, but it is called, Everything Was Beautiful and Nothing Hurt, and I think I heard a little review of it somewhere, and I was immediately attracted to it. It's by Ben Reeves, and it's it's basically told from the point of view, the main character is Death, and
Oh,
Death is incarnate as a modern day British guy whose job it is to basically be with people. He actually visits people sort of through their lives and kind of follows their lives. And then his job is to be with them when they're dying and basically shepherd them through. And it's just one reason I was attracted to it. You may know since I've been working on it for 10 years and just finished my what I hope is my final draft. My novel that I've been working on also has a mythical character who interacts with the real world and tells a series of stories about the people she interacts with. And as does death in this book. So I was really drawn to
Mm.
that. And he does a great job of bringing out. I don't know how many you know sort of little character studies he does through this, but each one, they're almost like little mini short stories that are so well drawn, and you just immediately are into who the person is and what their life is about. And then, of course, the more overarching theme, I have to say, I cried at the end of this book, which I don't often do, because it was
Mm.
so poignantly told. And without giving too much away, he is involved in all of these humans' lives, but he is unable to really participate emotionally as one would wish, because that's not his role and that's not who he is. So it's very poignant and sad, but just really well done. So I really, really enjoyed that. Um,
So that it's fiction or memoir?
it's fiction.
It's fiction.
Yes, it
Yes.
is fiction. Yeah, not a
Mm.
memoir by death. And then I just started, again, another buzzy book that I was lucky to get, on the list to get, pretty quickly as an audiobook. So I have not that far into it, is Yesteryear, which is about, now I forget the name of the author, but it's about a trad wife, this whole big,
Mm.
um, sort of trend of traditional, women becoming more traditional wives. And she's an Instagram info or an influencer who ends up, um, basically going back in time into the time that she's, trying to recreate in her influencing community, and
Mm.
very obviously disoriented. And so I've just arrived at the part where she's gone back, and again, really well written. I mean, I always appreciate, as a writer, um, just the very, very specific details about what's going on, and really bringing us right into wherever the character is and whatever they're feeling and doing. So,
Mhm. Hmm. Well, I was thinking, I haven't read any memoirs recently, other than the ones I'm working on editing or, publishing, which some of them have been very good. But I noticed that Tara Westover, did you ever read Educated?
educated, yes, yeah.
Yeah. So she is going to be a visiting professor of writing at Bard
Oh,
this this year. So I thought,
wow,
oh, maybe I can meet her. I'd love to meet her.
that would be great.
And I looked her up, and it seems like she hasn't really published anything since Educated. Like that was her big thing. So I'd be curious to ask her about what what, if anything, she's working on. I thought maybe I could recruit her for my Books That Make the World Better podcast and get her to come on
That would
and
be
share.
great. Yeah. Oh, that would be
So
exciting.
that was
Yes, for
exciting.
those of you who don't know, Jennifer teaches at Bard College in New York. So, ah,
Yeah. Yeah, and Educated is a fabulous book. Definitely
yeah,
worth
I
worth
remember
reading.
reading that. So, all right. Well, that was fun. We can keep this short, and I'd love to do this again next time one of us
Oh.
finishes a book, and maybe invite other people on to share what they're reading. So it's
Mhm. Yeah, why not?
why not? Okay, well, thank you. Looks like we have 3 people who joined us. I don't know if anybody, is actually watching. It's hard to tell. This is a little bit of a different medium for us. We usually are on Zoom, where we can see who's there and see people's faces, but, we'll trust that someone is out there, and I think I'll probably make a little recording and post it up as well. So, thanks for being here, and see you next time.